Hello everybody, it's Celeste here and welcome to A Crafter's Story. Thank you for stopping by. So I've been experimenting and playing around with trying to make these little stickers, and it's a sticker that I'm trying to make look like some vintage paper and or a little romantic love note. Some aged paper, an aged letter is what I'm trying to achieve. I think I'm getting there. I think I've got it. So I've put some double-sided tape on the back, and this is from my original, which was on white paper that I photocopied onto some coffee stain paper. And then I thought, well, that's crazy. Why not just work directly on coffee stain paper? And so that's what I'm going to do today while I show you how I did that. And then with this guy, I folded it in places and aged it a little bit more. I'm not sure that I'm a fan of these lines. Let me know what you think. But I think I kind of myself prefer to have it more plain, like this little guy. So let's make one together, and then I will show you. Let me show you my original. Actually, this is my original. This is the reduced photocopy of the original, but we are going to work straight on some coffee dyed paper because it's just so much easier. And just find what on earth I did with my, oh, it's in the copier still. Alright, so I've already gone ahead and I have one here that I played around with. So first thing you guys need to do is to get your hands on some Mod Podge. I'm using a water-based gloss Mod Podge, and I'm going to just work on the side here next to this guy. Get some of your coffee stain paper or tea stain paper, or if you have I was kind of playing around with the idea of doing more colored papers, maybe something where I colored it with food coloring or Kool-Aid, anything that takes away the white of the printer paper, because white is not an aged look, but this brown sort of speckled, I've got too much. All right, well, I'm just going to spread it all over the place. So once this is dry, we're going to be able to write on it, and obviously just do a scribble script. It's not real writing because I don't want a message on here. I just want it to look like water damaged antique vintage paper. And so I played around before I settled on what I finally did, and I'm going to get to that. I played around with different markers. My Uniball gel pen didn't work. It wouldn't smudge. My Artisto permanent marker didn't work, wouldn't smudge even when I used the rubbing alcohol. The best thing that worked for me, you guys, was my plain old Sharpie. Just a plain old Sharpie. So if you can get your hands on a Sharpie, I was thinking even, if you had a brown Sharpie, that would look really nice on here as well. Almost like it would look like your black ink quill pen from back in the day had faded, because I'm sure it fades. Alright, so that's what we're going to use. I'm going to have to give this just a minute to dry, and I'll come back and we'll work on writing our message in. Okay, so the Mod Podge is dry, and I'm just going to go next to this original and write as if I'm writing a letter. So I'm putting the address up here and something like that. Just emulate, and then over here I'm going to address the letter to somebody. And then the letter itself, and as you can see, I'm just scribbling as if I'm writing a cursive little note to somebody. There we go. You can always come back, the end of sentence. Okay, maybe I have a comma there. Let's see. This is just a short little note that I'm writing to somebody, pretending, okay, and I'm going to sign it off. Sincerely, a crafter's story. All right, so there it is. You can obviously see that how different it is, and that there's no smudging here yet. So the secret is to take a little square type brush like that, preferably one that's a little rigid, a little aged, and I'm dipping it in some 91% rubbing alcohol, and I'm just gonna go and tap once across the writing. Try not to go too many times over the same area, because it will pick up the Sharpie ink. I'm probably doing it a little bit over there, so maybe I should have waited for my Sharpie ink to dry a little more, or maybe it's the Mod Podge that's not as dry as it should be. But you need so little of this rubbing alcohol to get the effect. Sometimes I just kind of go and spread the ink a little, really to look like there was some water damage here. Okay, almost there. And as you can see, I think I only dipped my brush maybe 2-3 times, and I have the effect that I was looking for. You can just clean off your brush, gives it a little bit more of that aged look. Okay, so I'm going to leave that to dry for a little bit, maybe get my heat gun out and dry it off a little bit, and I'm going to go onto my printer now, my print copier. I'm going to reduce it. For my purposes, I want it reduced to 50% of the size, which is going to give me, at this size, should give me more or less that size afterwards. So it's going to hopefully go from that size to that size, but I need to give it just a minute. This little one was 30, so let me move it across. This little guy was 35%. If you, on my copiers, maybe I can try and explain, there's a little panel, and I can say resize 35%, and then that's the size I get, or resize 50%, and then it reduces my piece of paper to this size. If you don't have a copier that does that, go to your local library or local print shop. It's only a few cents for them to do it for you, and you can maybe get a multiple copies, so that you have some of these in your stash. So I apologize if I'm doing something that maybe isn't something your copier does, but I know that you can go to a library or to a print shop, and they'll do it for you for pennies. Okay, I'm coming back after I have copied this guy. Okay, so I went ahead and made a photocopy of this. I landed up having to make it a little bigger at 60%. I realized that my little letter was a little shorter this way than my previous one that I did at 50, so this was copied at 60%, and here is the result of that copy. So it's really gorgeous, because look at all that beautiful veining and all that aged paper look at the back. That's really going to be nice in a journal. I think I will cut it out and I'll put some double-sided tape on the back. But what I've decided, because of where I want to use this idea, I have decided to use this copy that I made onto coffee stained paper from my original, because I prefer the coloring on this, but it definitely needs a little aging. So let me get out, I've got a black ink. Instead of a brown, I just have a black ink that I'm going to use to really get in there and age those edges. And then I'm going to put some double-sided tape on the back of this piece of paper to turn it into a sticker. And put it on my journal page that I've already chosen. So let me just get a little bit of, oh, did I make it too, I made it too short. That was terrible. All right, let me do it this way, that way I can't goof it up again. I like to put it in the middle, and then in the middle again, because the tape is not wide enough. We go this way, and got it. Okay, got that loose. I'm all fingers and thumbs today. Oh, clumsy. Okay, let's cut off the excess quickly. Oh, sticking. It is raining so much outside, and I've got the window open because I like the fresh air, but I think it's raining in. So I'm probably going to have to go and close that window shortly. It's just so nice and fresh and cool. I like it. Okay, I think I got all of that off. Maybe just to make sure I didn't cut any of my paper off, I'm going to give it a little extra aging. I love this sort of, almost gives it like a burnt edge look. So here is the journal page that I've chosen, and this is for a new journal that I'm working in or on. Get that out of the way. I'm going to zoom this out, I think, just a little bit. Oh, other way. Maybe. No, I don't think I can. Okay, so I'll just work like that. Let me fix it and I'll come back. That's better. Now we can see the whole page, not just bits and pieces. So I'm going to take my little sticker, and I think it's going to look really nice because this is such a plain page, right? So let me get my vintage page sticker out, get the backing off eventually. All right, and down it goes. I think it's going to look gorgeous just up there. There we go, perfect, because it kind of ties in with the bottom part, right? And then this little flower that comes from our, I guess I could have just put some glue on the back of this as well, but just more fun when it's a sticker. So for this flower that came from our ink stenciled background papers that we made just recently in a video, I'll just put a little glue behind this collage fodder piece that came from that video. And if you're interested, it's only a couple of days ago that I did that video, so maybe it was last week. I'm going to see if I can get this just like that. That looks really nice. Okay, it already transformed this page just with 2 stickers, and now I think if I put this ribbon across the top, maybe with a little Fabri-Tac, I'll just get this flower to go back underneath. There we go. All right, am I still, yep, you guys can still see me. That's good. I get all carried away and then I forget that I'm supposed to keep everything in frame. Okay, there we go, and this really nice ribbon can sit up top here. Bring it across. You know what? I think I'm going to put this neater side on this end and cut off that side, which isn't quite as neat, a little later on when it's dry. Okay, and then I will be able to put my tag back in, and it totally transformed our page. I love how we have this little secret note that nobody can read, so you can just imagine what's written there. Really pretty and so simple to make, you guys. And then of course our collage fodder from the ink stencil page also really beautiful. So let me put that in there. I'm not going to try and cut this now because I know I'll move it if I try. But there you go. So I hope that this is something that you feel comfortable trying as well. And please leave a note in the comments below and tell me what you think. And if you thought that these lines, remember I said I creased it and then inked these lines, if that looks good to you, I'm not sure. Tell me what you think. All right. Well, thank you so much for dropping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.